Hello everybody. Today we're going to start reading 4th grade Rats by Jerry Spinelli. So this book is about a character named Suds. Last year he was in 3rd grade, and it says Suds may have been the perfect 3rd grade angel last year, but now that he's in 4th grade it's time to be a rat. His best friend Joey knows all about being a rat, pushing little kids off the swings, saying goodbye to lunch boxes and PB&J sandwiches, and definitely no crying aloud. Suds isn't so sure he wants to be a rat, but Joey is quickly becoming the most popular kid in class with his troublemaking ways. Even Judy Billings is starting to pay attention. If Suds doesn't become a rat, will he just turn invisible? Join me as we read this book. All right, we have Chapter 1 of 4th grade Rats. Here we go. Chapter 1, Rats Don't. 1st grade babies, 2nd grade cats, 3rd grade angels, 4th grade rats. It was the first recess of the first day of school. A mob of 3rd graders had me and Joey Peterson backed up against the monkey bars. There's our picture. Sorry, camera. There we go. They were giving us the old chant. When they came to the word rats, they screamed it in our faces. Then they ran off laughing. I wish I was still in 3rd grade, I said. Why? Said Joey. So I could still be an angel. Not me. He climbed onto the first bar. I waited 3 years to be a rat. He climbed to the next bar, and now I am a rat. He climbed to the top bar. He shouted over the schoolyard, and proud of it. I started to climb. My sneakers slipped on a bar, and I went down instead of up. The first thing I landed on was my hand. My thumb got bent back, way back. Pain! I howled as loud as I could. It still hurt. I kicked the ground, the monkey bars, the nearest tree. My thumb still hurt, and so did my foot. Only one thing left to do. I cried. Joey's voice came down from the high monkey bar. Rats don't cry. The bell rang to end recess. I jogged, sniffling, to the door. When I got there, Judy Billings was behind me. Like a miracle, the pain in my thumb disappeared. For me, there was no such thing as pain when Judy Billings was around. I loved her. I was sure that any day she would start to love me back. In the meantime, she mostly ignored me. But I kept trying. Judy was in the other 4th grade class, so I didn't see much of her. When I did, I figured I had to make the most of it. That's why I held the door open for her. She went through. As usual, she ignored me. I didn't care. For 1 second, she was inches away. Heaven was a trainload of those seconds. A little while later, during silent reading, a spider crawled onto Becky Hibble's book. Becky screamed and flipped her book into the air. The book landed on the floor. The spider landed in my lap. Now, if you know anything about Miss Honette, you know that I don't like spiders. So I want you to think for a minute, what would happen if a spider landed in my lap? What do you think? Guess what? I would probably scream and run really, really fast away. Let's find out what Suds does. Next thing I know, I'm on my desktop, tap dancing and yelling, "Get him off me! Get him off me!" On the way to lunch, Joey's whisper came again. Rats don't get scared of spiders. We sat together in the lunchroom, just like last year, and we both brought our lunches from home, just like last year. We sat at our usual table. I opened my lunchbox. I was checking out my stuff when I heard Joey snickering. I looked up. He was wagging his head. His face was smirky. I looked around the lunchroom. What's funny? That, he said. He was pointing at my lunchbox. What's wrong with it? I said. Ain't that the same one you had last year? Yeah. So what? He snickered again. Look at it. I looked at it. So? What do you see? I see a lunchbox. What do you see? A Martian? He flipped the cover down. Look at it. What's on it? All over it. I looked again. Elephants. He broke out laughing. He pounded the table. His face was red. I had never known I could make him so happy. He tried to talk a couple of times. What? But he kept cracking up. Finally, he slapped his hands over his eyes and got it out. What are they doing? The elephants? Yeah, they're flying. This time I thought lunch would be over before he stopped laughing. Other kids were looking over. Gerald Willis, a 6th grader and the school bully, threw a French fry at Joey, but that didn't stop him. I unwrapped my sandwich. I didn't have all day. At long last, he took a deep breath. He said, right, flying elephants, big flapping ears, doing yo-yos with their trunks. Some of them, I corrected him. Other ones have fishing poles. His cheeks bulged with laugh balls, but he swallowed them. Morton, he made himself serious again. Don't you get it? Get what? Flying elephants on your lunchbox, man. That's little kid stuff. He picked up his paper bag. He wagged it in my face. This is what a rat brings his lunch in. I took a bite out of my sandwich. What do I care? That's just it, man. You ought to care. He opened his bag. If you don't care, who will? Your mom probably got you that box, right? Yeah, I guess. Right, moms. They just want to keep you a baby all your life. Suds, I'm telling you, you got to put a stop to it now. If you leave it up to your mom, you'll be going off to college with a flying elephant lunchbox. I looked at my lunchbox. I'd had it since 1st grade, when I was a baby and glad of it. Most of the other kids broke their lunchboxes or lost them, so they got new ones every year. My lunchbox just kept rolling on. The elephants were fading, and some were even starting to look like hippos. But I loved my lunchbox. It was like a brother to me. Now that I thought about it, I wasn't even sure I could eat lunch at school without it. And as for my lunchbox going off to college with me someday, well, to tell you the truth, I didn't see anything so bad about that. I looked at Joey. He was wagging his head and smirking again. Uh-oh, I thought. It's not just the lunchbox. All right, that is the end of Chapter 1 of 4th grade Rats. I learned 2 characters. Well, actually, we had 3 characters if we think about it. There's Judy Billings, which Suds says he loves. There's Suds, and there's Joey. It seems like Suds is a nice boy who likes his lunchbox and likes things that are familiar, meaning he likes things to stay the same. That's my guess. And Joey seems to like new things because he's excited about being a rat. He's kind of being a troublemaker, I think, maybe. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen next?